Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your true IP address with ExpressVPN, and visit my custom link expressvpn.com/ghilliemaster in the description to find out how you can get an extra 3 months free. Hey everyone, and welcome to another gtaonline video here on the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to maximize your efficiency with these smoke on the water money laundering jobs to make a ton of money. When I was streaming a couple days ago and used the strats I'm about to show you guys in this video, I managed to make $5.5 million in around 3 hours. Now that is with the GTA Plus benefits, so earning quad money, but that is still an insane amount of money to make entirely solo, even without it. This week especially, it is definitely the fastest moneymaker if you play solo. In order to really maximize the speed at which you do these missions, you will need a couple of things, namely a hangar and the Raichu jet preferably. The Raichu is actually a very key part of this grind. You can use other vehicles and they will work fine, but the Raichu just gets things done in the fastest way for this method. So there are 4 mission variants for the smoke on the water money laundering jobs. One mission will have you arriving at a location where you will have to put out fires with an RCV before collecting product and bring it back to your business. Another, you will have to steal a gang car and take out some targets in a very headhunter style mission. My favorite one is the mission where you have to torch the weed farms. And the final variant is stealing the fertilizer in the Bobcat truck and bringing it back to the smoke on the water business. The smoke on the water business has the best money laundering missions out of the 3 because none of these missions are ones that you ever want to skip unless you get a very bad location. But all of the mission types themselves are just fine, unlike the car wash, for example, where every variant of the stockade mission just sucks and is an automatic skip. These are all good and can be done in a matter of a few minutes with the right strategies. So to begin, you want to have your spawn location at your hangar with your Raichu on the hangar floor for easy access. And this is also why you want a Los Santos International Airport hangar and not a Fort Zancudo hangar. If you have a Zancudo hangar, it's probably not the best idea to spawn at your hangar. And the reason you spawn at the hangar is because it gives us easy access to the main vehicle, which is of course the Raichu, if we ever get a mission location that is far away from us and we have to find a new session to re-roll the mission, we'll just spawn right there. For the weed farm torch missions, there are 3 locations: Paleto Bay, kind of in the middle of the map near Sandy Shores, and in the city. To no one's surprise, every time you get the Paleto Bay location, you want to skip it by finding a new session. Going all the way to Paleto Bay for any mission is just never worth it. The other 2 locations, though, are perfectly fine, and all you have to do is take your Raichu, go into VTOL mode at every location, and shoot the weed with the explosive MGs. Because fun fact about those explosive MGs, they create fire on the ground, which in turn burns the weed farms. With one catch, the fire will only spread if you are close enough. If you shoot them from far away, the fire will not spread because it just doesn't render in. So you have to make sure you're within like 20 feet of the plants when you shoot them. And then once you see the weed turning this grayish charcoal color, then you are good to go. You know you burned them correctly. And I'll just let you guys see how fast you can complete this mission using the Raichu Strat. It really is that easy. And again, you don't necessarily need the Raichu for this. I think missiles also create fire on the ground that spreads, but the explosive MGs with the Raichu VTOL mode just make this so fast because you can drop in, VTOL, then zoom out with standard flight when you're done. I've tried this with incendiary bombs, and it was overall just more difficult than using Raichu explosive MGs. And it also didn't seem like the fire spread as well, but that also could just be because I had to be farther up to drop them. So while there are other methods, the Raichu still just does it best. For the collect the fertilizer mission, I've only ever seen 2 locations, either the Grand Senora Desert or Grapeseed. Grapeseed you always want to skip because you have to drive a slow bobcat truck all the way back, and no one is doing that all the way from Grapeseed. It just takes too long. It's probably the slowest mission, even if you get the good location in the Grand Senora Desert. And I'm not sure if there's a city location. If there is, I have just never seen it. I must be just unlucky. But Grand Senora Desert isn't a horrible drive back either. Unfortunately though, you do have to take out all the enemies here before being able to get in the truck. It will be locked until you do so. And so what I just do is I fly over there and circle the area with whatever aircraft I'm in, taking out all the guys, and then get out and drive the truck back. There's not really anything that you have to do that's very special or speedrun-esque for this mission. But the good thing about this one is that it makes you drive all the way back to the business, and right next to the Smoke on the Water business is an aircraft spawn location right at the beach for you to get back in your Raichu for the next mission, so it actually works out quite well in the grind. Moving on to the Recover the Product mission, the locations for this one are all good actually. They all take place in the city from what I've seen. There's downtown Vinewood, Murrieta Heights, or La Puerta. This one there's also really not a particular speedrun strat for because we don't really have any faster ways of putting out fires. We don't carry around Super Soaker water guns in our back pockets, unfortunately. So you have to take out the Noose agents and get in the RCV to do it that way. And if you don't have a Raichu for this mission, you can just steal the product and then call in the spare right afterwards to get out of there fast once it spawns in. And ditching the Raichu here doesn't matter either because just like in the fertilizer mission, the business is right next to an aircraft spawn, so we can just easily get it back after we deliver the product. Now the main speedrun strat for this business is in the Gang Lowrider mission. You might have thought, man, this mission sucks because you have to use the lowriders to go and kill the targets. Well, surprisingly, no you don't. If you memorize the locations of the enemies that spawn in, you can actually just use the Raichu or whatever aircraft you want to kill all of them before even getting to the lowrider, because they spawn in the moment the mission starts, not when you enter the vehicle. And it's actually very easy to memorize the locations too, because the locations of the enemies depend on which location you get for the mission. If it tells you to go to Rancho, then these will be where the enemies are at. If you get Davis, then you'll have this enemy set up. And if you get Chamberlain Hills, then they will be in these spots on the map. However, you don't even have to memorize them, because what you can also do is first go to the lowrider and then proceed to mark the locations by pressing Y or triangle on PlayStation to place map markers down where the targets are at. Then put 3 sticky bombs on the vehicle for later, before getting back in your jet or preferred aircraft and taking out the targets because you now know where they're at due to the map markers. The reason you place down 3 sticky bombs, that's for later when you have to blow up the vehicle after the targets are dead. Usually it tells you to take the vehicle to a secluded area to destroy it, but you don't actually have to do that either. So after all the targets are dead, you just blow up the sticky bombs and the mission is complete without ever having to go back to the lowrider. One thing you do have to take note of though, it is a requirement to enter the lowrider at some point in the mission. If you just go and blow up the targets and then blow up the vehicle without ever entering it, it will fail. So you either need to enter the vehicle at the end of the mission, or what I prefer is enter it at the beginning and then plant sticky bombs before going and killing the targets. It's a much faster way of completing this mission instead of using the lowrider to drive to each of the targets and shooting them that way. It is so much faster. Not only are the money laundering missions themselves the best and most efficient for the Smoke on the Water business, but when the heat meter fills up, and it will fill up fast when you're doing these missions, all you have to do is call RAF, start up the deliver weed mission, and the van will spawn very close to you, and then just complete one delivery and proceed to blow up or sink the vehicle in water if you have to, just some way of destroying it. That will clear your entire heat bar for the business in about a minute's time, and then you can keep going on with the quick money laundering jobs. This, in combination with the super easy speedrunnable money laundering missions, is the reason why the Smoke on the Water is the best money laundering grind. With GTA Plus, I was able to make $5.5 million in just over 3 hours. So doing the math, without GTA Plus, that would be about $2.75 million in the same time frame, or just about $900,000 an hour just on the money laundering jobs, not even including any passive income you'd make along the way from either of your businesses. After the event week is over, it might still be a decent moneymaker. Just at that point, it's no longer going to be the best money-making method, but for the remainder of this event until Thursday, especially if you have GTA Plus, you should be grinding this out for very easy money. You can just turn on some music or a stream to watch and just grind away with ease. But that's going to wrap up this in-depth money guide for the smoke on the water business. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more GT Online content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.